Hello everybody, it's me, the Brave Angel, or you could just call me Angel. Anyways, today I will show you a deck profile on Mekk-Knight Invoked. Now, why do I play this deck? Well, A, it's my favorite deck to play right now. I enjoy going second, I enjoy OTKing. Also, I feel like now that the format, it's always been a going first format, like now and like before, but I feel like every time it's going first format, I always need to go second just to like break their boards and then gain more value than them at the end or OTK them. And I think with this build, I feel like it can do really well, especially since the biggest card that hurts me a lot, Colossus, is now banned. Now that Colossus is now banned, I can freely search, at least for one card until I get drilled. But yeah, I'll show you the deck profile, and hopefully it would meet to your criteria, all you fellow duelists. Anyways, let's begin. So we're starting with the muster lineup. We start with, obviously, 3 Alistairs, the main normal summon of your deck. When he's normal summon, or when he's flip face up, you can add an invocation from your deck to your hand, the standard stuff, and this effect is a quick effect. You can discard Alistair, target a fusion monster you control, able to gain 1000 attack and defense for the turn. Now, it doesn't have to be Invoke monster, it can be any of your fusion monsters, so for some reason, if you attack with 1000 as restrict, it will gain that 1000 attack. And then next up, the Mekk-Knight stuff, you run 3 Mekk-Knight Purple Nightfall. What he does is that you can target any Mekk-Knight in the field, including himself, banish that target, and search for a Mekk-Knight from your deck to your hand, other than purple. And also, all Mekk-Knights have the condition of they can be special summoned from your hand if there's 2 or more cards in the same column. And it's once returned that way. And then next up, 3 blue. Now, blue, what he does is that whenever he's special summoned from the hand, you can search any Mekk-Knight card from your deck to your hand other than himself, equal to the amount of cards in your opponent's column. So if there's 2 cards in the same column that's on your opponent's side, you search for 2. If they have 3, you search for 3, which I've never done yet. I'm hoping I can do that. So you mainly get just a minimum of 1. And then for the rest of the Mekk-Knight stuff, 1 Indigo Eclipse and 1 Yellow Star. Now, I run Indigo just because, you move himself and then summon another Mekk-Knight and then, more monsters. But I run Yellow because right now, this format uses more background now. I still ran Yellow before, but Yellow is now more of a requirement now to bait out their background. Also, just make sure you're in the clear to OTK. And to round out the last of the monsters, we got 3 Ash Blossoms and 3 Effect Railer. Ash Blossoms are just one of the best hand traps in the game. Now, Effect Railers, though, they can be iffy now. It's always been iffy, but I might cut it out for Ghost Hookers later on. I just need to keep testing it. But Effect Railer is just mainly there to be as a light target for my Alistair. Also, it's not once returned, so it can get through Call by the Grave technically if you have 2 in hand. And yeah, just mainly there for monster effectigation. That's all for the monsters. Now let's get to the spells. So you run not 3 but 4 meltdowns technically. So what meltdown does is that you can whenever you activate meltdown, you search for Alistair. Big deal. Also, your opponent cannot negate your fusion summons. They can respond, but they can't negate. So they can still answer you, sadly. But overall, it's still pretty good to have that effect to not negate. So, and then next up, 3 invocations. I run 3 invocations because I run Put a Desire, so I need to make sure I don't banish them all. So normally, for its standard effect without, invoking, summon an invoked monster, you fusion summon 1 monster from your extra deck using cards from your hand. Now, to summon an invoked monster, you use cards from your side of the field, or from and from either player's graveyard, but you have to banish them. So, banish your Alistair in your grave or field, and then banish a target from their graveyard. And if they don't have a target, that's why you have your hand traps. And once per turn, you can target a Alistair that's in your banish zone, return that Alistair to your hand, and return itself to deck. So it's pretty good recycling, and kind of like infinite, as long as you still have invoke stuff in your extra deck. Next up, 3 instant fusions. I used to run 2, but now I have to run 3 because my control's at 2. And I have a little bit more targets now. Instant fusion is always a great card to have. Just summon restrict and then take something, or just summon something you would like to get rid of as a link material. And then 3 Pot of Desires. You just want to draw your cards. You're going second, so get more cards, free value, and it's also a bait for negation. If you have a second one in hand, it's fine. You can just discard it. And then next up, 2 Mind Control. You're going second. You want to take their monsters, make them as link material. Yeah, going second, like usual. And then 2 Cosmic Cyclones, because back row decks are becoming more and more of a thing now. Also, just get rid of their Babble since Arceus is still alive. And then for the 1-0 spells, 1 Upstart. Upstart. 1 Monster Reborn, so you can get a free monster. And then this is what I like to use now. I use 1 Regeki because Colossus is now banned, so yay. And also for like decks that want to keep their monster mainly Guru control, they're gonna have to negate the Regeki just so they can keep their Guru. But if they can't keep the Guru, you're kind of safe to do whatever you want after. And also it's like it's mainly a bait for negation. If it can't negate it, then go back to your board. And speaking of go back to your board, the last 3 cards in my deck is 3 Evenly Matched, because Evenly Matched is so good right now. Against Spirals, against back row decks, against 2 Dracos if they're somehow here. I shouldn't see him at all. And also, like, it's a way to use your Mekk-Knight for negating a trap, because sometimes you don't have a way to negate traps. So that's the Evenly Match for. And that's it. That's 40 cards in the main deck. Now for the extra deck. Now the extra deck is what I like to use, because that's when the shenanigans starts for me. Now for the fusion lineup, you have 1000 Ice Restrict. The standard instant fusion target something they have in the field and take it. Big deal. And then use it as like a material after. And then next up, I run 1 Starving Venom Fusion Dragon because I have Super Poly in the side deck. So, and I also have a good amount of room, so I might as well put it in there because why not? And then the Invoke stuff, 1 Caliga. Caliga, what it does is that during both players can activate 1 monster effect per turn, so it's a window for monster effects. And also, each player can only attack with 1 monster each battle phase. So mainly I summon this against Orcust, and Orcust can only do... Orcust can do a lot of monster effects, but with Caliga in field, they can't really do much. And also, apparently 1800 defense is like big enough. And if they can't beat over it, well, that's the Alistair right there for you, to make it 28. And then I run 1 Raijin now. I used to not play Raijin because I used to main deck Super Poly, but now that most dark decks are like gone now, I put the Raijin in the deck. Good distribution target. Also, it's a level 5, which is an important thing for later on. And flip a card face down, so you can be safe. Maybe combo with Purgatria later. And then the main star, 2 Mekk-Knights. I was thinking about running 3, but I decided to keep it at 2. So Mekk-Knight can negate anything as long as you have the right typing of that card. So if they activate a monster effect, you have to discard a monster. If they activate a spell, you have to discard a spell, and it's the same thing for the trap. It negates it and also banishes that card. And that's why I have the effect veilers, because you really want to get Mekk-Knight out there, just to like keep control of the board. And yeah, I believe that's everything about the Macabre. I'm trying to remember because this is a German one. And then 2 Purgatrio. Now, people usually just run 1 Purgatrio, but I run 2 because silent migrates are still a thing, so you want to be careful about that. You know, just mainly target their Link 1 monster and hopefully proceed the game. Also, like, sometimes I'm not able to OTK them, and, you know, they build up a big board again. So that's what the second Purgatrio is there for, just to clean off the rest of the mess. So that's the fusion stuff, and now for the Link monsters, you run 1 Elmirage, because Elmirage is the greatest thing that ever happened for this deck. You link off your Alistair, and then set 1 card and summon your Mekk-Knights, finally. Easily and perfectly. And if you do go first, you can make Elmirage and Macabre pass, and then Elmirage can protect your Macabre from card effects, which is pretty good. And then for Link 2, I run 1 Madness. Madness, what he does is that if either player fusion summons, I can discard 1 card. It's not cost, so if they ask you, you don't have to discard. But if you do, when this goes through, you search for 1 Invocation or Book of the Law from your deck to your hand. Now, as you saw, I don't run Book of the Law. I was running that at a tournament recently, but I kept seeing it. It was horrible. Terrible card to start off with, so I rather cut it out. But yeah, he just gives you more invocations and try to go for game from that point on. And then from earlier Link 2, I run 1 Nightmare Phoenix, just, you know, for back row purposes. This is my favorite card to use now. I was doing big brain testing, and I run 1 Puzzle Mino. The reason why I run him, because I have 2 Xyz monsters in the extra deck. One's a 5 and one's an 8, so that's why I have the Raijin in there too. What he does is that when you special summon a monster from, not from anywhere, just if you special summon a monster to the lake pointers that he points to, I can change its level from 1 to 8. So mainly just instant fusion while he's in here for Thousand Restrict, take a monster and call at 8 or 5 and then make one of the 2 Xyz. It's funny, I did that once and it caught someone by surprise. It was pretty funny to me. And to run out the Lake monsters, I run 1 Boral Sword just because, you know, you're OTKing. That's your main purpose of stuff, just OTK. Yeah, that's it for the links. And now for the 2 Xyz. The one you'll probably expect is 1 Degrisu. You know, 2 of your Mekk-Knights are level 8s, so might as well get 1 more way to get another level 8. Also, Orc is still around, so if you might control their Galatea, well, there you go. And then for the 5, I have 1 Volcasaurus. Now, the 5 targets are Mekk-Knight Blue and the Raijin. So, after the tournament, I was like, maybe I should put in 1 more Link monster, 1 more Xyz monster, but I didn't know what to put. So, Volcasaurus, you know, you destroy 1 of your opponent's monsters, and then they take the burn damage of their attack points, the original attack points. And then you can link off for either Boral Sword or just another Link 2, then proceed to game after that. That's it for the extra deck. And now for the side deck, this is personal preferences, but I'm still testing out this deck, and I might change it in the future. So, for the monsters, I run 3 Nibiru, because Nibiru is great. Spirals exists. And just get rid of the board, and then, you know, have a free big boy. It's an easy link off to Puzzle Mino if you have to. And then, next up, 3 Ghost Ogres. If the format is not really, like, effect monster dependent, like to negate, I might put Ghost Ogres in the main deck, and then put in Drolls at the side instead, just because it's a win target for my Raijin, but for now, I'll keep the Ogres at the side. And then the 3 DD Crows, because Orcus is still alive, and there's some decks that utilize their graveyard. So, the Crows are there for that. And then, for the spells, I have 3 Twin Twisters, because back row. I do not like back row. And then, to round it off, 3 Super Polys, because I have the Starving Venom, dark decks are still gonna be the thing, and technically all of my invoke monsters are super poly targets, because once you normal summon Alistair, they're probably gonna change something. Okay, change super poly, and then your Alistair should still resolve from there. And if not, then whatever. You still have a fusion monster in field. Get rid of their big boss monster, maybe, hopefully. But yeah, that's it for the deck profile. Hopefully you enjoy it. Like the puzzle Mino combo, like I had to think of that for like a little while. Like a couple nights ago, I was like testing all night, and it did pay off a little bit during the tournament I had yesterday. But I don't know. Maybe I'll keep testing it. I might put the sheep guy, the new sheep guy later on. But yeah. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this deck profile. Leave a like if you like to. Comment on like what should I try out, or like maybe I should put in something else instead of another thing. I have other things to put out later on. I have another deck I should finish, which is Orcus, and I do Smash Bros and Hearthstone, and obviously Yu-Gi-Oh. So I might put out more content later on. I'm just new at this. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the deck profile, and I'll catch you next time. Take care, everyone.